So we've heard from Ken Hughes himself, straight from the horse's mouth, that the Montreal Canadiens are not done making moves this offseason. Now, whether that includes trading away big salary players that they might have to get rid of in cap dumps, like Paul Byron or Dvorak, or even Josh Anderson's been thrown out there, his name, Jonathan Drouin, if they can maybe look to move that contract at some point. But no matter what it is, they are going to try to move out cap space. They're going to try to make the team better and make some moves. And there's two names that have come up that the Habs are definitely interested in. One of them they've been interested in for a while, and the other one would be a huge signing. So let's get right into it. I don't want to waste any time. Let's start with the one that you guys have probably heard of a few times here, but the Montreal Canadiens are definitely interested in Jesse Puljujärvi, and he just signed a 1-year, $3 million extension with the Edmonton Oilers, and a lot of people looked at that and they said, oh, that means he's staying. Puljujärvi's there for another year. He wants to stay at Edmonton. Not necessarily. That's just to avoid arbitration. Like, Edmonton definitely could and probably will end up moving Jesse Puljujärvi. And honestly, Montreal, from what I've been hearing, has been one of, if not the front runner, to get Puljujärvi since he came on the market. And honestly, I see the fit. He's still young. He's a project, but for a team that's rebuilding with new young coaches who could rebuild guys' confidence, like Cole Caufield, I really think that absolutely Puljujärvi could be a very good fit with the Montreal Canadiens. Honestly, I for one would not be surprised if Jesse Puljujärvi becomes a Montreal Canadien in the very near future here. And here's what was said on the article that mentioned it, that was posted just a day ago on thehockeywriters.com. As per Jimmy Murphy of Montreal Hockey Now, a source said that the Montreal Canadiens might have an interest in recently signed forward Jesse Puljujärvi. Reports are that the Canadiens have been doing their due diligence on the Oilers' disgruntled forward since before the draft, and now that he signed a 1-year, $3 million deal with Edmonton, he could be a more attractive option. There are reports that the Oilers have not removed Puljujärvi from the trade market, and one scout suggests the player has become even more attractive to teams after he signed on Tuesday. Murphy writes, one has to wonder if Hughes and the Canadiens could even package one of the numerous contracts they're trying to unload that could help a contending team like the Oilers with a 3rd or 4th round pick and acquire a ranked winger in Puljujärvi who might need the Midas touch of Canadiens head coach Martin St. Louis to finally realize his potential. Very interesting stuff there because, I mean, I know there's a lot of people who've seen Puljujärvi and they think he's not good at all, and whenever he was producing, it was a product of McDavid, but the analytics community and people who watch this guy day in, day out, a lot of them are, I wouldn't say high on him, but they think he's better than what the general public thinks of him. He's apparently a pretty decent top 6 winger here for the Oilers. When I've seen him, I'm not too high on him. Like, whenever I've seen him score, it's been because he's been playing with McDavid. I watch all Oilers games, so I watched all 82 because we get all of them here. And to me, he just never wowed me. He just seemed like he was not a play driver at all. His shot was good, but not great. His hockey sense was the same, if not, I would say a bit better than average. I'm not huge on him, but I do think that if Martin St. Louis gets a hold of him, he might be able to pull a Cole Caufield with Puljujärvi. Now, is Puljujärvi going to go and score 23 goals? Probably not, but he can probably turn into a productive top 6 or top 9 winger there, and more than he was in Edmonton. I know you're saying, what do you mean? He's got McDavid and Draisaitl on one team, and on the other, guys who are developing. Yeah, but confidence is one heck of a drug in the NHL. Trust me about that. And I think that absolutely, if he finds it in Montreal, he could produce well. Now, staying with HockeyWriters.com, there is an article that was posted also yesterday titled The 3 Most Probable Teams to Sign John Klingberg. Number 1 is the Seattle Kraken, and right number 2 on the list is the Montreal Canadiens. And this one here, I mean, I like to think that I keep up with Habs trade rumors and Habs signing rumors, but this one kind of caught me off guard. I was like, what? The Habs are in on this guy? I barely even, really knew about that because I didn't think they had the room for it, but it would make a ton of sense because with moving out Jeff Petrie, I mean, it makes sense. They need a mobile, offensive-minded, right-shot defenseman, because David Savard is not going to do it. So, after advancing to the Stanley Cup Final in 2021, the Habs came crashing down last season, finishing dead last in the league with a pitiful 22-49-11 record. There's plenty of room for optimism going forward. Not only are Nick Suzuki and Cole Caufield continuing to grow into star players, but the Canadiens landed Juraj Slafkovsky with the first overall pick in this year's draft. They also have a few bounce-back candidates for 2022-23, including Gallagher and Hoffman, and are hoping to get a healthy Jonathan Drouin back. That said, their blue line is lacking talent, so adding a player of Klingberg's talent should be crucial for GM Kent Hughes. The issue here is cap space, as the Habs have less than $300,000 available. However, they have options. The most likely is finding a trading partner for Dvorak, who they have been shopping for some time now. Moving his $4.45 million cap hit would go a long way toward landing Klingberg. The other option depends on Carey Price, as his status remains unknown, meaning he could still land on the LTIR. That said, there is plenty of optimism about his status, meaning option 1 is far more likely. And this is from Stu Cowan, former Habs goalie coach, thinks Price will be ready to start the season. And that was posted on the Montreal Gazette. So I am very interested in this, and I think the Habs should absolutely take a swing at Klingberg. And, of course, they're going to have to make 1 or maybe 2 trades first. But I think that Klingberg is sitting here. He thought he was going to get probably 8 times 8 or something like that, and nobody wanted to give that to him because he's 30 years old. So now the Habs might be able to clear $5 or $6 million in cap space and give him 6 times 6, 5 times 6. Like he could give him a reasonably good contract that doesn't blow the bank and gives good production for a guy who's already 30 and a right shot D-man. I think this could work out beautifully for the Montreal Canadiens. But again, they do need to clear some cap space. Of course, I think, like they mentioned in the article, Dvorak is casualty number 1. I think that Anderson has definitely been shopped around. Maybe Kent Hughes has thought about keeping Josh Anderson. Gallagher we talked about the other day. There's a lot of candidates for guys who I know you want to keep a good culture in the room for the young guys, but there are veterans who could absolutely be moved. Paul Byron makes that list as well. Like, there's a lot of guys, and Kent Hughes has options because these are guys that, like I mentioned with PULJUJARVI, they will be taken by teams who think they're contending, like the Oilers, like the Avalanche, like the Lightning. These are guys that will be taken. Like, absolutely, if Edmonton has the cap space, you really don't think they'll be super interested in Josh Anderson, okay? Or Colorado, you don't think they could use a Paul Byron in their bottom 6? Look at what Darren Helm just did with the Colorado Avalanche. So absolutely, there will be teams who will bite, and then they could take a swing at Klingberg, and wow, does that make a difference at their blue line. So I want to know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. Who would you prefer, PULJUJARVI or Klingberg? Obviously, both would be ideal, but if you had to pick one, who would you want to bring? And you got to keep the contract. It's not just the player's talent, but the contract number, the money, and the age. Because PULJUJARVI's a lot younger, and having a project that you bring to your team and to kind of work on, that's fun. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.